everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Eve. This is Everyday Artist, and welcome. This is Rogue, who's being very naughty and barking and hurting my ears. Yeah, are you? This is a Flosstube update number 211. I don't know. Yesterday was Palm Sunday. So Easter is fast upon us. My son has his 25th birthday on Saturday. He does not like celebrating his birthday. I mean, he likes gifts. I mean, you know, who wouldn't, right? But I wanted to have family over for dinner, and he's like, But I'm sure if his friends do a party for him, he's happy to be there. Yes, aren't our children fun? I've been watching the news and hearing the tornadoes and stuff like that that's been going around weather-wise, and my sister lived for some time in Arkansas, and I remember every time there was news of a tornado in those areas, I was just like wondering if she was okay. And sometimes it's really hard because they can't even call their family and friends because the phone lines and stuff are disrupted. So I hope everyone's safe. I know not everyone was, but here, in the past couple of days, it's been 80-ish. And the funny thing here is that it's cold in the morning. So you can't just dress for the, 80-degree temperature. You have to, like at church yesterday, sorry, I didn't turn my phone off. Yesterday at church, all of us were arriving in sweaters and jackets. And by the time the service was over an hour later, it was hot, and that's just the way of the desert, basically, is that the nights and mornings are very cool, and the daytime temperature can be much higher. I think last night it was in the 40s, and then 80 today during the day. And I remember when I lived in Florida, it was one of the things I couldn't understand. Is I was like, but it's midnight. Why is it still 100 degrees? Just the way the different climates are. So, but this is not the Weather Channel. This is a channel mostly about cross stitch. I will talk about some knitting. Do I have anything else? I have more cross stitch than I have had in a little while, but still, just little bitty bits. I'm trying to do just a little bit of progress at least, except I still haven't touched my sewing, what is it called? Sewing berry, BrrBerry. I don't know, it has bees. The sewing bee berry. I don't have it with me, so I don't know what it's called. Anyway. Oh, and I finally added some, one thing to the Etsy shop. I think I showed you when I bought this fabric, the Easter gnomes. I don't think I have any of the ones where they're holding the Easter sign. Just the carrots. Well, that's weird. It's upside down. Anyway, they have a little bunny charm. And the inside is just like this. And they are very roomy and large enough to put a pattern in and your hoop and stuff and still have plenty of space. And anyway, these are up on the Etsy shop, and right now we have a sale going on, 15% off of 2 items. It doesn't have to be, you know, this. It can be, you know, 2 needle minders or whatever. It's not, there's no minimum purchase amount. So last month for WhipGo, I was working on Lemon Cat by Maria Bravko, Cute Patterns by Maria. This is a free pattern I got from her Facebook page. And my goal was to finish it. 2 months in a row, I haven't gotten my goal. But I did all the stitching part. Now I'm working on the back stitching, and there is quite a bit of back stitching. So everywhere, tons and tons. But some of this back stitching is 1 strand. So all of this is 1 strand. But under here is 2 strand. And there's some 2 strand up here. This was 2 strand, but in white. So it's going to take me a minute to get all that in. But I figure if I just do a little bit at a time, it'll eventually get done. Hopefully sooner rather than later, because summer is approaching and I can't wait to finish this. I may see if I can find a lemon to put it on. I think that would be really cute, but we'll see. Anyway, that's Lemon Cat, yet another goal not completed for WhipGo, but I continue to try. And Erica Michaels, Winter Berries. I am working on this berry, which is called Warm Woolly Winter. And you can't really see in this picture that there's different colors in here on the sheep, and the well, that's weird. So this sheep right here, I don't know, this one right here. So you see that tail? On the stitching thing, it says to make it white, but that is definitely not white. I think I kind of like it, the other color. The one you can't see in this picture is wearing earmuffs. I wish that it was possible before I finished it for you to see the design, because some of them are just, some of these designs for these berries are just really cute, and you can't see the whole pattern, you know, on the picture. Anyway, I didn't get a lot more done, but I did get some done. I have, this is, I think part of the tail or something. The little horns are going to go here, and they're black. So, I don't know. But I did it in the right color. And I'm using B5200 for the sheep. I almost said, okay, I'll just do some more of the snowflakes and stuff so that I can get over here to where the word warm is. And then I thought, no, this is really close to the sheep, and the sheep are cute, so I'm going to go ahead and work on that. And then I ran out of steam. I'm still trying to get certain paperwork so I can file my dad's taxes. And I talked to somebody from the military area where I'm trying to get the 1099-R. And she was so incredibly rude to me. I mean, I couldn't even get a question asked before I'd hear her go, well, I'm not stupid. I just need to ask my question. And I finally had to say, will you stop doing that so I can get my question out? I don't know if you've noticed, but it's been, especially since I had COVID, that I struggle for the right word. And that's one of the things that was happening when she was being like that. And I was just like, just stop. This is your job. If you don't like this job, go get a different job. But her whole entire job is to help people with their questions. And she was telling me a lot of stuff that I don't think is true. So I called the accountant and said, I don't think I'm going to be able to get all this paperwork before it's time. And she said, maybe you just need to call our representative and have her deal with it, because I'm pulling out all my hair, on hold for hours, and and then the phone turns off, or and then to get this rude woman when I can finally talk to somebody. The first person I got said, I can't help you, because blah blah blah. So it's been a lot of wasted time. I think that's some of the things that Sherry from Colorado Cross Stitcher, she just put out a little free pattern about how doing this and other crafts that we do help you deal with a lot of that stuff. Sometimes if you just want to just sit back and just relax, or if you're just trying to de-stress, or if this and that are going on. And that's true. It really does. And as a matter of fact, I think that's one of the reasons why I'm struggling, is because I can't find time to do this kind of stuff and still get everything else done. So, I don't know. Enough of that. So I did a little bit more work on BrrBerry, again, Erica Michaels. And if you look close, you can see the teal color in the scarf. And I thought I'd put in the teal color first so that it would be easier for me to see where the little squares go. So I started doing that. And the scarf is going to go up this way. And all of these little X's get all convoluted, and I was like, I don't know if I can figure out where those go. So I may go ahead and put all the squares in and then continue with the teal. I'm not sure. Or I may just go ahead and finish these birds, because it looks kind of weird having this little black spots off to the side. I don't know. I was going to show you my knitting first and I forgot. I'll show it at the end. Okay, so wow, we're just moving along here. We're only 15 minutes in and we're more than halfway done. Excuse me, more than halfway done. So both of my calls for this month for WIPGO were Halloween charts. But one of them was, I still haven't turned off the sound on my phone. I apologize. I don't know what that is. So, Black Halloween series, I think it's 10 days. And I needed to start a new design because I'd finished this one already. And I was trying to decide between this one. And this is a lot bigger. So I went ahead and decided on this one. And when I measured, I had dyed this cloth specifically for this. And when I measured it, I'm like, that's a tight fit. So I wanted to start in the middle. I knew it was just barely big enough, but I wanted to start in the middle so that I could not come in too far here and still have a little bit of room, because this is actually like, that is the top of the pattern. So I started in the middle. It doesn't look like it, but this little skull here is the middle. And so I just did his nose and his eyes because the nose was just above the middle. It's just the top part doesn't have as much stitching. And so I did the little eyes and the nose, and then I did a half stitch all the way up rather than counting. I didn't want to start in the middle and do all of that black expanse. I wanted to start at the top and go that way. So I did a half stitch all the way up until I got, up in here, and then I'm starting back down now. And once I reach where it spreads out, then I'll start doing more. And right here, there's a spider. See the spider? Well, I don't know how, what is the name of the program? Pattern Keeper? I don't know how it operates for everybody else. For me, it does not show back stitching at all. And I mean, it's in the PDF in there and I can find it, but it doesn't show it on the pattern. So when I was stitching on this pattern, I was like, okay, I see the little twirly things coming down from the pumpkin. I see that. And then right here, it's just a little blob. And I was like, why is there a blob there? That's weird. I don't understand the blob. And then when I looked at the picture, well, that's the middle of the spider. So I would suppose that the rest of the spider is all backstitch. But sometimes it's kind of like hard to kind of figure out what's going on. On Tiny Modernist, the Halloween pattern from, was it 2 years ago now? I don't know. It started in the summer. I remember I was working on the summer cross-stitch camp stuff. So I think it was 2 years ago. This summer will be 2 years. And there's a lot of backstitching. I mean, a lot of backstitching in that, and I don't mind backstitching. But it doesn't show up on the pattern. There's these big expanses where there's nothing, and you're like, what the heck? And you look at the pattern, and you're like, oh, backstitching. I just wish the backstitching showed up in Pattern Keeper, because I like Pattern Keeper. I like being able to highlight the color I'm working on. Now, in this particular pattern, it's all black. But then you can highlight where you are and stuff like that. And so that's helpful for people like me who struggle with counting. Anyway, I don't know how far I'll get in 10 days. I may go ahead and, because I'm at the end of a thread. So I may go ahead and do the spider, or I may just go ahead and start down on the rest of the pumpkin. Maybe I'll go ahead and get the top of the pumpkin done, and then do the cat and the spider. Yeah. And you know, they all look the same size here, but this is a lot wider than this, and it doesn't look like it, does it? And yeah, I thought that this maybe would be smaller, but it's not. It's a lot bigger. The fabric is a lot bigger that I cut out for that. So I had to go with the smaller one because both of them are a lot of black. And the other reason, not just the size, that I decided to go with this one was that's a lot of counting. I love it though. I love the wash line and the little house and all that. Yeah, so I almost didn't start this. I almost went ahead and kept working on the backstitch on the cat. I'm really anxious to get it done, but you wouldn't believe how many things I have to do after I leave here, after I finish doing this. Quite a bit. So I said, I'm just going to go ahead and start it, so I at least have a start on my Whip Go and possibly get the challenge in, because it's already the 3rd. And so, sorry, the dog heard my sister. Anyway, we're almost done already. So, Sapphire Mountain Handcrafts temperature chart, and of course I had to finish last month. I didn't start the new month yet because I work on it on Fridays, so there's one more month in. Now I'm going to have to do this thing over here because it actually which side does it go in on? Yeah, I start over here to go the other way, so I'm going to have to get that in there. But you can see we've had 70-degree highs, and then one warmer day, and then a cold day. and it's just that cold day is it was raining again. It never rains this much here. I'm thankful for the rain. Certainly the desert cannot complain about rain, right? But it's very unusual. So I'm kind of glad that I did this temperature chart this year because the weather has been so atypical. So we'll see how it is in the summer. It's probably going to be just a solid red lines, you know, we'll see. But fortunately, the temperatures are, you know, 5 degrees one way or the other. So there'll be slight differences in the color. All right, and since I forgot to show you my knitting, as you recall, I couldn't figure out what the heck was going on because the pattern wasn't coming out the way it was supposed to. Now I'm tangled. Okay, so I now have it. I did the first row of pattern. It looks really messy because you need to anchor it by putting the next row on. But this is that crisscross pattern that I was like, wait a minute, I don't have enough stitches. Well, the problem was actually that I had too many stitches. My sister's like, well, you should have 10 of those sections and then enough to do the end. And I'm like, I have 10 and a lot of stitches left over. And so I tried counting several times what the exact count is because I wanted to make sure it was the amount I started with. And I don't know where it happened. I don't know if it was down here because you can see 11 sections of this. And I think there should only be 10. So I don't know where it was that the count got off, but it was off by 6. 6. You know, not just one stitch too many, one loop too many. No, 6. So no wonder it wasn't coming out right. But I was coming out evenly down here, so I was like, what the heck is going on? But I didn't want to take out more than I really had to because it is what it is. If the adding of the stitches is way down here somewhere, well, it's just going to have to stay that way. Don't sit on my stuff. Don't sit on my stuff. She's very happy now because she had some kitty snacks. Whenever my sister is going to feed her cats, she gives my dog a couple of pieces of cat food. And I know cat food's not good for her, but she enjoys it so much. She gets so happy. As you could probably hear by her happy feet. So I now have the right amount of stitches to do this pattern, and I'm not sure that I like it, but I'm going to do it. I'm not sure if I'm doing it correctly, you know, in that, like, this seems really loose and loopy, but I'm following the instructions, you know, and seriously, are you knocking all my stuff down? Or was that just gravity? She doesn't answer. I often tell her, use your words. Because she stares at me and I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, I'm just going to persevere. I seriously doubt I will be done with this year. Because this is clue 3 that I just started, and there are 6 clues, and I'm only going to work on a row or 2 a week, you know, so it's not like I need a lot of shawls here. Actually, shawls are pretty good for here because a lot of times, like in the summer, you need something when you're like in the movie theater or something like that, because it is so cold in the theater. In order to counteract the heat outside, you know, it's like walking into an icebox if you sit in there for enough time. And the same thing with the refrigerated air. I mean, refrigerated areas of like grocery stores and stuff. Very cold, especially Walmart. I don't know why Walmart's produce and frozen area feels like you need a parka. And that's all year round. It's not just in the summer or not just in the winter. It's cold in there. Very cold. Hey, stop. Stop. Anyway, somehow I managed to stretch this to 30 minutes, and I really just don't have that much. And so thank you for listening. I appreciate it. And I will see you right after Easter. Bye.